welcome back to our channel. Stop pointing it out. Nobody's even gonna notice it if you don't say anything. Oh my gosh. Do you want to turn the thing? Why are you the way that you are? Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, welcome back to Roam Around Browns. We are here for week 6. Is it week 6?
It's week something.
That was fast. Anyway, so we're a little behind on getting this video rolled out. But this week we had a big change of plans. Completely rerouted the rest of our trip. So that's been an adventure in itself, trying to find a place to stay in order to get back home. But we were successful. We did find a place to stay. We're going to talk about some of that today, as well as what we've been doing here in Massachusetts. So last week we managed to make it to Plymouth. Saw Plymouth Rock, which was extremely underwhelming, but still pretty cool to say that we were there where it all started, and
we saw the rock.
We saw the rock. It's not exactly what I had in mind. Is it what you had in mind?
I mean, it's a rock.
It's a rock, but I kind of expected like a massive rock. It's not a very big rock. Anyway, so we saw that. We walked around Plymouth. Plymouth is a super cute little town.
I like it.
I think we're definitely going to be going back there this week to explore a little bit more, because it was just really neat. One of the other cool things that we saw there was the last standing house that the Pilgrims actually lived in, and we didn't even know it was there. We were parked on the side of the street, and when we came back, Reagan was like, "Mom, look at this sign." And she read it, and I was like, "That's super cool." So there was actually a house standing there that was supposedly the last standing house where Pilgrims actually lived. So some neat things in Plymouth. Yesterday we did head into Boston.
Yep.
We walked part of the Freedom Trail. Didn't have a ton of time and didn't really plan any specific tours. Kind of wish that we would have maybe done a hop on, hop off bus tour or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's maybe what we look into next time we're in Boston, or maybe the next time that we're in a large city doing something like that, now that we kind of know how we want to see the cities. So we've spent a lot of time at the campground this week. There's a nice pool. Reagan and I have spent a lot of time at the pool. There's been a 4th of July parade, a candy hunt.
They've had a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on. Some tie-dye, some crafts. Yeah, dance parties. Tons to do here. It's cleared out a lot here since yesterday, but it was packed over the weekend. We walked around, not a single spot open on the holiday weekend, including all the cabins. Yeah,
and
every cabin.
Different levels of cabins.
Yeah, it's a neat place.
Pretty neat.
So our plans changed. We were supposed to be in Virginia Beach on Sunday, and we decided to reroute to stay here another week. Some different things happened that Virginia Beach was just not going to work out well, and we really wanted to see more of Massachusetts and more of this area, so we decided to just stay another week. We went to the front desk and they were like, "There's nothing available, but if you keep checking, you might find something." So we lucked up. We actually made 2 separate reservations in order to get the whole week here, but we were able to get the full week. So we'll be here through Saturday now, and have more time to explore. And after Virginia Beach, our next stop was Pigeon Forge, and we have changed that as well. It was going to be too far to drive from here all the way to Pigeon Forge in a weekend. We don't like to drive that far in 2 days. It's just too much, and we don't travel during the week. So we are actually headed to Washington, D.C. this weekend, which is probably the one place we said, no, we're not going to Washington, D.C.
Yep.
And we're going to Washington, D.C.
We don't really know why. We're this close. We saw it on the map, and the kids were like...
The kids had actually asked a couple times
wanting to do it
throughout the trip, are we going to go to Washington, D.C.? Are we going to see the White House? And so it was something that was on their minds, and we thought, why not? We're not staying completely in the city, but we'll be within driving distance, and I think we even have a shuttle from our campground that goes into the city. So yeah, we're going to DC, and this will be a first for
Both of us.
Because Brennan had been to Boston previously, but neither of us have been to DC. So we're pretty excited about that. If you have suggestions on DC, we like food, so any of the best places to eat. We like hole-in-the-wall local places that most people would never think to try. Drop those down in the comments. Let us know, what should we do in DC? What are your top things to see? We know there's a lot to see, but since we'll have just 1 week there, we want to know what your favorites are.
Rudy wants to see the Forrest Gump scenes that are in the movie.
Yes, he loves Forrest Gump.
That's why he wants to go.
We'll definitely be hitting some of those things up. And, you know, I think the other thing we've learned this week with changing plans is we had the opportunity to stay 2 weeks in one place, and it has been awesome. I don't think that once we start moving again after we get home for a little while, that we'll be doing weekly moves anymore. I think 2 weeks is going to be a bit more of our sweet spot, so to speak. Having work during the week and then having that full weekend to really get out and explore and do things.
Yeah, it really,
awesome.
Really helps out, since I was driving on the weekends, and then it gives me a weekend off, so
yep,
works out pretty good.
Yep. But we're winding down on this trip. Already got lots of plans rolling on what's next, and we're excited to share with you guys kind of where we're going from here once we get back home, and what that's going to look like for the future. So we will see you guys next week from DC. Bye.
Bye.